Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Raine Musñgi. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey. The Philippine economy is facing a mix of challenges and opportunities, from wage hike debates and manufacturing growth concerns to foreign investments and inflation. With the midterm elections coming up, businesses are looking for stability, while global factors like U.S. trade policies could shake up our export sector. Today, we speak with Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman George Barcelon to get his insights on these pressing economic issues. George, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming on air with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to Follow the Money.
And good afternoon to the televiewers.
Good afternoon, sir. Well, the PCCI recently urged Congress to let regional wage boards decide on wage hikes instead of passing a national increase. How do you see the balance between ensuring fair wages and maintaining business competitiveness?
Well, you know, we have a process wherein we've been following for many years, which is the tripartite discussion that concerns management, labor, and DOLE, government representation. And in the past, this has worked because wages are looked at as a cost input to manufacturing. But at the same time, we have to bear in mind that it should be based on our inflation. We can understand in the past 2 years, we have adjusted legislated wages primarily because the inflation was quite high. But we, of course, are cognizant that the government has been able to tame the inflation. As of late, end of the year, it was like 3% or slightly below 3%. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the legislated increase of about 200, you know, you're talking about the 30% increase in our wages. And that by itself is very inflationary. The cost will be passed on to consumer. And this inflationary, again, might have another round of, inflation that cause things to be higher. And again, would force the issue on wages. Now, the wages, as I said, the tripartite has been working because each region has a different take on the cost of living. And at the same time, we should bear in mind that what's important is for us is to create more jobs. This increase would only benefit a certain percentage of the formal sector of the labor. Our businesses are composed of 99.6% of the MSMEs, and they would be greatly affected in the sense that many of them cannot afford. So we encourage the government that we're open to discussion and following the process of the tripartite discussion.
Instead of raising wages 200% upfront and across the board, would you suggest or recommend other ways of other compensation, other benefits, perhaps maybe non-cash, that could be upped or increased for workers?
Many of the establishments, especially in the manufacturing sectors, are paying beyond the minimum wage. And in order to increase their productivity, most companies have their incentivized that is based on production. So I think that's a fair way of giving more pay to the workers based on their performance. While when you mandate across the board increase in wage like that, the tendency is that we're not encouraging or we're not giving wages based on meritocracy. We're just saying, okay, they'll just wait for increase from the legislator to work on it, which I think would not be beneficial. We have one of the highest wages already in the ASEAN region. Of course, we cannot compare to Singapore. Their GDP is much higher, in Malaysia. But the other ASEAN countries, including Thailand, Indonesia, and upcoming Vietnam and Cambodia, their wages are lower than ours. We don't want to price ourselves out of the competition. As you said earlier, that this has some direct bearing also to to attracting foreign investments.
Right. Well put. I was just about to ask you about that. Now, of course, we are trying to woo a lot of foreign investors, especially in our manufacturing sector. Manufacturing production in the Philippines has grown at its slowest pace in 5 months. That's according to S&P Global. What for you might be causing this slowdown? And are there measures that should be taken to revitalize the sector?
Of course, we in our organization, BCCI, we encourage our companies to really look at what are the factors that is affecting our competitiveness. Of course, on top of mind, our cost of power is higher, okay? And our logistic cost is also higher. And I can see that many of the goods that we see, if you go to the Changi, you can see a lot of these goods are imported either from Thailand, Vietnam, or Indonesia, or especially in China. So we are really at the point wherein we have to be focusing on how we can compete. Okay, otherwise, our hard-earned dollars by remittances by our OFW are sending jobs abroad. Whenever we import goods from outside, or even in the food sector, we're actually exporting the jobs. And this is where the gap has to be looked into. It's not just the businessman on the shoulder of the businessman, but the whole working relationship with the government, providing the infrastructure. Our power, again, is a bit on the high side. So this all factored in why the manufacturing has slowed down a bit. And the fluctuation on the energy cost and also our currency. Lately, we're happy that the peso has gained strength. Primarily, it was US dollar has weakened a bit. And this is reflected in the prices of gold. So as of late, the mining sector with the prices of gold and copper all has slightly gained, and this is really good for our country because the revenue from mining has gone up. So on the manufacturing side, there are really many areas that we can improve, and but in relation to the wage increase, I think that is not a one way of encouraging the manufacturing sector.
Certainly. Now, we already touched on foreign investments. Of course, you brought up two important things. One is the power requirement in the manufacturing sector as well as labor. Given global uncertainties, local regulatory concerns, are there policies the government should consider or implement to attract more investors? We were speaking with PEZA recently, and they were already saying that the Philippines should have the most attractive locator package already in the whole of the ASEAN, considering their tiers of incentives for power and location over a period of time. We were also talking to SAPI. They were saying that the Philippines should really develop their mining sector, but again, it's going to require more power. What do you think of it? What policies should there be in place to attract more foreign investment?
I think we have the special advisor to the government on investment that's headed by Secretary Fortigo, and is doing a good job. And he's very instrumental in having our create law trick to create more. And this has been, I would think that this would attract more investments because there are certain areas such as people in the PEZA zone before has some difficulty getting, VAT exempt and the likes. So that's a good sign that the government is responding to the concern of the private sectors. But on the whole, our power rates is higher. Not only that, the dependability on the quality of power that some of the sector needs. When we talk about semiconductor, that's one area that requires competitive price and quality and sustainable power for their operations. I had the chance to visit our neighboring ASEAN countries like Penang, and I was quite surprised that they have attracted a lot of multinationals in the electronic and semiconductor sectors. So this is something that we would like, and the SEPI and is and together with the government is really looking into this matter. The Department of Energy, of course, has a key role to play. We now have many companies in the renewable energy, solar, wind, geothermal, and the likes, and those would help. But the fact is, we have competing ASEAN neighbors. They are also out to attract more investment. We are one of the lowest as far as numbers is concerned. We are much behind our ASEAN countries, wherein our foreign investment is not a double-digit $billion investment, while all the other rest, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, are all in the vicinity of about double digits, 15 to 25 billion dollars. So these are, in other words, in a way that it shows our upside, that we still have a lot of room to grow. But on the economy, I would suggest that to the government that we also look at the low-hanging fruits on tourism. Our ASEAN neighbors are all are enjoying the fruits of more tourists coming to their countries. In particular, they're very flexible. They have allowed the biggest tourist market from China, wherein they made it flexible, wherein they can apply for visa upon landing, or some would even allow them to visit the country without visa for a few days. So those are things that I would like to believe that that we're capable of doing, and the tourism sector is the low-hanging fruits that we should really have a revisit on that.
Certainly. I don't know if you saw the report today, the DOF secretary saying that the Philippines is ready for Trump 2.0, and it reports that the Philippine economy has been able to maintain steady growth. Our projections this year looking positive due to lower inflation, increased consumption. However, some sectors argue that growth remains uneven. Would you agree with this? And I mean, if we can segue into the Trump 2.0 matter, is there, is this a yin and yang kind of opportunity and risk factor?
Well, the service sector, our BPO sectors, has gave quite positive growth for the year, and that's good. And that side of service, I haven't seen any pronouncement from the U.S. side that they're going to impose whatever tariff or what taxes. But on the manufactured goods, it looks like that it's across the board for the U.S. And that is some concern, wherein that would obviously jack up the cost, and from the consumer side, that would be some constraint on increasing their sales. So that's something that we have to look into. But again, business is a very competitive. If you find ways of making your costs lower, we can still compete. And I'm sure that a lot of exporters are already looking on how to mitigate this issue on increased tariff to the U.S.
Now that you mention it, is there, very, very quickly before we go to break, are there import costs or input costs that we can afford to drive down at this moment? Do you see any?
Well, the cost in many aspects, it really depends on
Industry.
the demand.
Mm-mm.
Okay, of course we know the economy in China has slackened somewhat. Okay, and they're one of our source of raw material. I mean, most of our manufacturing uh, requires imported either raw material or semi-raw material. So
Right.
if their market has weakened a bit in China, maybe they will sell it to us cheaper, and that would lower down our cost. Okay. Other than that, I think in the world of business, uh, we have to rely that on our own, innovations, which Philippine is known for its creativity, and maybe that would help us still maintain or increase our market share in certain markets such as furnitures, garments, and footwear and bags. Okay, we do have foreign companies here that are investing in this wearables, but in the electronic side, semiconductor side, we have quite a number of few companies. The Dyson, the one that makes bladeless fan, and some of other vacuum cleaner or whatnot. I heard that they're doing quite well. They're expanding their business. So there's a sporadic, not areas of good business outlook, but there are some that are can be a bit stressful with all of this, possible tariff imposed on exporting countries.
And if I hear from the Chinese side, also they are open to a lot of new deals because of this tariff policy from the U.S. We need to pause for a quick break, but still ahead, we'll delve deeper into Trump's tariff plans and how it's going to impact the Philippine economy. PCCI's George Barcelon will return with us. Stay on BNC and follow the money.
This Valentine's Day, let's celebrate love in all its beautiful forms. Whether it's romance, friendship, or family, love makes every moment special. From our hearts to yours. At BNC, 12 noon doesn't mean break. We're always ready to give you the latest news, even at noon.
And those are the news this hour. Here at home, the Commission on Elections assures the Public Attorney's Office files new complaints. NGCP assures the public its Chinese investors are no threat.
Join Maya Rodriguez, delivering fresh news for you. News feed at noon.
Keep it here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back to Follow the Money. We're still with Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman George Barcelon. George, the midterm elections are expected to shape economic policies moving forward. What kind of leaders do you want to see elected? And from the business community's perspective, are there key policies or reforms that these incoming legislators and policymakers should prioritize?
As far as as you mentioned earlier, that our country has provided a lot of, attraction or incentives for people to invest. So it begs the question, why are they not coming to us? One area that we were very hopeful but did not happen was that when the U.S. Impose a lot of their supply chain to relocate out of China. But unfortunately, many of them have actually relocated, but to other ASEAN countries and not much to the Philippines.
Right.
So there are underlying reasons why, as we all know, and I mentioned that earlier, power, logistic, and another reason is also the ease of doing business. And that issue really is not just the national government concern. I think the national government is doing everything they can do. We even have the ARTA, the anti-red tapes. But we would like to hope, and we have seen in our dealings with the local government that they play a key role in encouraging, local businesses to expand and also to be able to attract foreign investments. So this issue on the ease of doing business is very important to heighten, our economic growth. In the U.S., if you notice, even President Trump, he set up this Department of Government Efficiency, which is headed by Elon Musk. Well, in a way, our ARTA is more focused on the reduction of bureaucracy, but maybe it's timely for us to have an agency like that to look how we can be more efficient, the government, in the service to the public sectors. We know very well that the budget GAA that has been approved is certainly has been going up in the past couple of years, and also our government deficit on that is a bit concerning because the debt service is quite high also. So all of this factor in how competitive we are. Remember, when you want to be competitive, it's not just the businessman to be competitive. The government must be competitive. So it's a balance. It's a really, we're on the same boat, and we hope that our legislator has the wisdom to craft laws or even to take out some laws that are deterrent to our economic growth. And this requires, and we have been doing this. We reach out to the government agencies, and a lot of key government agencies also regularly talk to us to get some feedback.
Very well put, and I cannot add to that anymore. I think we should end on that note to emphasize just how important ease of doing business and smooth government operations to remain competitive across the region would be. Thank you so much, PCCI Chairman George Barcelon, for sharing valuable insights on the business climate, economic challenges, and policies the country needs in order to progress. Thank you so much. It's our pleasure and honor to
Thank you, Raine.
As the economy navigates inflation, wage debates, and global uncertainties, policies must strike a balance between growth, competitiveness, and fair labor practices to ensure long-term prosperity. Before we go, we leave you with this thought from English naturalist and geologist, widely known for his contributions to evolutionary biology, Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. And that is it for today's edition of Follow the Money. I'm Raine Musñgi. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.